Book of Isaiah, chapter 21. A prophecy against Babylon. An oracle concerning the desert by the sea. Like whirlwinds sweeping through the southland, an invader comes from the desert, from a land of terror. A dire vision has been shown to me. The traitor betrays, the looter takes loot. Elam attack, Medea lay siege. I will bring to an end all the groaning she caused. At this, my body is racked with pain. Pangs seize me like those of a woman in labor. I am staggered by what I hear. I am bewildered by what I see. My heart falters. Fear makes me tremble. The twilight I longed for has become a horror to me. They set the tables, they spread the rugs, they eat, they drink. Get up, you officers, oil the shields. This is what the Lord says to me. Go post a lookout and have him report what he sees. When he sees chariots with teams of horses, riders on donkeys, or riders on camels, let him be alert, fully alert. And the lookout shouted, Day after day, my Lord, I stand on the watchtower. Every night I stay at my post. Look, here comes a man in a chariot with a team of horses. He gives back the answer, Babylon has fallen, has fallen. All the images of its gods lie shattered on the ground. O my people, crushed on the threshing floor, I tell you what I have heard from the Lord Almighty, from the God of Israel. And so, over this first portion, he's talking about how Babylon is. So, we're talking about Isaiah. Isaiah was a prophet during when Israel, I believe, was divided in two. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. As well as during a time right before the Judah, so it was Israel and Judah. This would be the time before Judah would be eventually swept away, which leading to the exile. Because slowly but surely, unfortunately, the people of Israel, once they were led out of Egypt, they had complainers. They wanted to go back to Egypt, but then the Lord kept guiding them, and because they were the chosen people, and the Lord blessed them with the promised land, and which was previously the home to the Canaanites, who did not worship the Lord, who did not recognize the Lord, who knew of the Lord but refused to acknowledge him as who refused to fear the Lord, which we've talked about in previous Bible studies, which is knowing that the Lord is all power, all glory, all holy, the good shepherd, the great redeemer, provider of our salvation. And so instead, in refusing to do so, it led to detestable things through their nation. So the Lord was going to, and gave Israel that land filled with milk and honey, and basically was a discipline slash punishment to the Canaanites. And so you have then the Israelites made a covenant with the Lord, stating that they would continue to follow the decrees and laws of the Lord. And they also informed themselves what would happen if they don't, because the Lord, through the prophets, through, I believe, Moses and Aaron, told them that what would happen, and Joshua, what would happen if they stopped worshiping the Lord, they stopped following the commands. They would, of course, there would be some consequences. The Lord would allow for things to happen to them to hopefully bring them back. But it was also prophesied that they would eventually fail, unfortunately. And the Lord already knew that, and that's why he had to send his son to redeem us all. And so what we had was, during this time, this Israel in the promised land, and slowly but surely, they're not worshiping the Lord. They're turning to the detestable idols and idol worship and other things and practices that were of the Canaanites or the nations that were around them. And so the Lord is slowly but surely allowing for consequences to happen, for them to be attacked, for them to be defeated, for things to happen, pestilence and such to happen. And so here's Isaiah giving a warning, because he's already given I believe in the previous Bible study, he was already giving a warning about other nations and what would happen. But now he's given a warning about to Babylon, who's actually going to be utilized for the exile. So the Lord's going to utilize Babylon for the exile. However, because Babylonians are they're proud, it's a proud nation, and they are not going to be recognizing who the Lord is, that this is a prophecy against the Babylonians, that there will be downfall. So they will exile the Israel, and then slowly but surely they too would be in a downfall. And so it just shows you who is in control. We like to think that we're in control all the time. And I was having a discussion today with even my sister, and we were talking about how things are going in the world, how a lot of times people believe that we have a lot of control and authority in our lives. And we feel that way because, as I explained previously, you walk into a room and you turn on a switch, or you flip a switch and the light comes on. You get used to things that work for you, and then try to figure out what happens when they don't. So you walk into the same room, you flip the switch, but the light doesn't come on. Do you need to change the light bulb? Is there a short in the wiring? Is there an issue in the connection? Is there some other problem that you've never foreseen before? We can't predict the future, nor can we really control it. So we have options. We can assist along the way when we are provided wisdom, when we use our wisdom correctly, like, oh, well, maybe it's just the light gone out, so let me see if I can change it. Make sure I have a spare light bulb. There's a lot to it as well. That goes for wisdom. Wisdom is provided by the Lord. And we may think that we have wisdom and we know these and we know a lot. No, absolutely not. We go in, we turn on the light, we fix the light, we think it's fixed and it still doesn't turn on. We fix the wiring and it still doesn't turn on. We're left wondering what is going on with the world. And so just to say that we may not always know how to fix things, how to correct things, and we may believe that we're always in control, but are we fully aware of that? And do we know that we're not always in control? So reading over this first portion, including the prophecy of Babylon and bringing past to present, and how that also another point is things can happen and not to be focused on seeing consequences for others, seeing punishment for others, focusing on what you have in life in your path. So when you are relieved from stresses, oppression, etc., when you are relieved from those attacks, don't focus on retribution or revenge. Give that to the Lord and know that the Lord is going to take care of it or has already taken care of it. Reading over this first portion, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?